Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
T-Mobile has invested billions to light up America's largest 5G network, from big cities to small towns, including right here in yours. And great coverage is just the beginning. Right now, families and small businesses can save up to 20% versus AT&T and Verizon when they switch. Visit your local T-Mobile store today.
Plan savings with 3 lines of T-Mobile Essentials versus comparable available plans. Plan features and taxes and fees may vary.
A gift most humans never receive in a lifetime.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Starting next week, this is my segment. Bob breaks down the NFL.
Don't!
Jeff Lutz.
Are you kidding me? You're terrible at it.
Warning. 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
And you're invited to partake of it.
I'm gassed. I'm so excited.
Stand by for action.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. I mentioned earlier in the show about digging through Twitter for nuggets, which can be difficult to find. But on this day, 25 years ago, I remember exactly where I was, and I wasn't watching this game. I was in Kiowa, Kansas.
What for?
My Aunt Phyllis had some relatives who had an event there. And I was in Kiowa, Kansas that evening for that event. And as I got to my car, I tuned in and found out that the Cardinals had beaten the Dodgers. And Fernando Tatis had become the only player in Major League history to hit 2 grand slams in the same game, same inning.
Right, same inning.
He happened to do it against Chan Ho Park. And he happened to do it going into that game with no home runs.
It's crazy. That was early in the season, obviously.
Well, yeah, it was early in the season.
I'm going to upstage
but
you.
Hit 2 in the same inning with the bases loaded. First of all, how in the world is Chan Ho Park still in that ball game?
Well, he hadn't given up a ton of runs because the bases were still loaded, and he had a couple outs. So, let's see if he can get through this inning. I'm going to upstage you, though. You know what happened 70 years ago today?
Not anything like that.
Much better.
No.
Much better.
What?
Hank Aaron hit his first career home run in the big leagues.
Well, that's awesome, but it's not like that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, honestly.
If you say so.
Now, if you said he hit his 715th, which happened earlier this month, the anniversary of that, then we're talking. But a guy's first home run, nice.
First of 755.
Yeah, it's very nice.
No one knew at the time,
It doesn't
right?
approach what Fernando Tatis did on this date in 1999.
Well, I might disagree with you on that.
Do you disagree with me?
I might.
But do you?
I very well could.
Now that you've heard yourself say it, and I think you really thought when you said it, oh, I'm going to get him here. I think
I got you. Yeah, I do.
No one would vote for that. If I put that out there, which is a bigger deal?
Put it.
Henry Aaron's first home run or Fernando Tatis being the only player in the history of Major League Baseball to hit 2 grand slams in the same inning?
I welcome the discourse on that. Yeah.
You can't be serious that you think Aaron's first home run would hold up.
Absolutely, I do.
Well, I don't think you do because I know you better than that. I raised you better than that. You're smarter than that. And I think you just like to be argumentative.
I mean, it's a big deal.
No question it's a big deal. Of course it's a big deal.
No, I'm talking about your thing is a big deal. I mean, sure. But
2 grand slams in 1 inning?
Yeah, I love it.
It's never happened.
Both off Chan Ho Park. Hasn't happened
or since.
Before or since.
And never will.
You know how many times Hank Aaron hit his first homer?
It does. Everybody
One.
hits a first homer.
I'm just saying.
No, you're not. It's not even comparable.
Okay.
You do know that, right?
Okay.
No, really.
I mean, sure.
You expect David Michael Hahn to come on this show with you tomorrow and to be able to talk with you.
Oh, well, sure, 100%.
Here's what I fear.
What do you fear?
I fear that you're giving my last name a bad name.
No, you don't. No one cares about me, and few people care about you.
I fear that.
What happened
See what
there?
I mean? My voice is shaky. This is real. When my voice starts to quiver, there's no game being played. This is real stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it in my heart. I believe you're giving the Lutz name a bad name.
I hope so. I hope that's all it
it's
takes.
your name.
Right. But I'm not worried about it. But if you are, then sure, I'd love to just bury it.
I like to protect the integrity of this name.
That stuff's overrated.
869-1240. That is the IHOP hotline. They have their pecan pancakes available for you.
Do the read. Don't just try to wing it.
Well, I can't. It's asking for the password to my email account.
That does take some time.
And I don't have time to do all that
No.
right now. So, Odyssey, if you want me to read that liner, don't be asking me for my password.
Too many steps to get into the email.
Well, I'll do it, but I don't have time right now.
Then you got to put the code in. It's all just...
Yeah, listen, I learned how to do it. You got to be almost a Mensa person to handle everything thrown at us today.
Like what?
Oh, the passwords, the codes, everything that you need to make it work in today's society.
Yeah, it's too much.
I've even done. I've taken. What do they call those things they put on your TV and you have to?
Here's
your camera
here's a
toward
question.
them, barcodes.
Here's a question that should make people think. Right? We have oversimplified everything. You can come up with any examples. Order stuff from our house, anything you can possibly do with our phone. Yet, everyone says about the past, much simpler time. Right? So maybe we haven't oversimplified. Maybe we've only complicated
what was
things.
simpler about the past.
No, I agree that it was simple.
When I think of, and everybody gets an image, okay? Do you want to know mine? You want to know mine?
Sure.
Ask me. Say, what's your image of the past?
What if you had?
I gotta have the. I gotta have the question.
In some examples, give us.
No. I gotta have. What's your image of the past?
What would you say?
Why can't you just use the words?
What would you say?
No. What's your image
when you
of the
think
past?
of the past? What perhaps would possibly come to mind?
I'll go with it. Here's my image.
Okay, what's your image of the past?
Driving my car to a department store, looking around, listening to the music.
What?
The music that's
what
coming
you
through
think
the
of?
speakers. Wondering what I'm going to do that evening.
Who's driving?
Me.
So you're just driving alone to a
I
department
go to
store.
a department store.
For what?
I need some clothes.
You get clothes at the department store?
Yes, I used to get my clothes
from the Sears catalog.
Almost exclusively at Sears.
From the
over in Twin Lake.
That's unfortunate.
I did that a lot.
Well, I think people noticed.
What's wrong with Sears clothes?
They're great. I mean, we could go over to Sears. No, we couldn't.
That's where I bought my clothes for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm in there and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do that evening, and everything's beautiful. I didn't have to worry about my phone.
Was I around?
No, you were.
Wasn't there yet.
You weren't something I was planning for. No,
Good.
seriously, I didn't think about having kids.
Yeah, you did. You tell me all the time you wanted like 12 or 3 or 5.
No. In hindsight, I'd have had more dogs.
Just dogs? You can have more dogs.
Look at that lovely little dog.
Yeah, she's cute. She's always with her eyes open, though. She wants to see if something's going on.
We went to a new vet yesterday because Misty's having some hip issues, some arthritis issues. She's 11. It's not out of the ordinary, but the first thing the vet said was, I can't believe she's 11.
Because she's so spry?
Well, she's spry and she just looks like a puppy. She looks like a puppy. Whatever you envision a puppy looking like, that's what Misty looks
She's
like.
got a little baby face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike your cats who aren't aging well.
Well, some would argue. Don't say that. I don't want to think about my cat's aging.
Our friend J.R. Sartain, who we haven't heard from in decades.
Our friend? I mean, yeah, but
well, I love
where
JR.
you been, JR?
Says, oh, you'll change your tune here when you hear his text. Hank Aaron home run seems much bigger to a non-base.
Love JR. Is he still doing body work?
You know what? JR's never had a clue.
JR's great. We brought him on as an expert on this show.
He was our when we made our
or on some show
our NASCAR picks. He and Warren Hardy would come on and just you couldn't come up with two worse experts.
Yeah, I don't see Warren Hardy texting. Where's he at?
Don't know what Warren's up to. I'd like to know what those guys are up to. I think JR's gone a different direction. I'm not exactly sure. Text me, JR. Tell me what you're doing now.
I don't know if
He has your old phone number, so he hasn't texted you in years.
It's been a while.
But anyway, good to hear from him.
Should give him my new number.
No, I don't want to give him your new number.
Here's a question. Why is I read today Matt Ryan retires. Now let the Hall of Fame debate begin. All right, let's have it. No. Debate over. Next.
Probably not, but in football, if you're a quarterback with numbers,
yeah, we're going to start to see that change. It's like the opposite of baseball. Like no one can get to 300 wins anymore, but everybody gets to 50,000 passing yards now and 40 touchdowns a year. It's not new. It's not unique. He doesn't stand out in any way. He won an MVP.
Well,
I get it.
He's seventh all-time in passing yardage. He's ahead of Marino and Aaron Rodgers. He's ahead of Stafford, who's 11th. Rodgers 9th.
That should tell you everything. He's ahead of Marino.
The top 6, how many can you name?
Top 6?
Yeah, you won't be able to name them.
Hardy.
Who?
Brady.
Who'd you name?
I said Brady.
Well, of course, Brady.
Manning.
Manning's third.
There's someone second? Who's
You're
second?
terrible at this.
Warren Moon.
Are you serious? Warren Moon.
If you count his
if
you count his USFL yards, I think he goes.
Second is Breeze.
Oh yeah.
Fourth is Favre.
I was gonna say him.
Fifth is Roethlisberger.
Had him.
And sixth is Rivers.
Yeah. Easy.
You're an idiot. You don't know anything about anything.
You got to add the USFL yards.
You should call Tony Dusing every day and say, Tony, thanks for giving me this show.
You should thank me,
I
Jeff.
know I don't deserve it, but I really appreciate you letting me come on here with my dad.
Drew Brees, that's a good one. Thank you, Tony. You're welcome for being so entertaining. Are you looking up his USFL stats? I don't know why that's funny.
It's not funny.
But it is.
Okay, who are the top 10 all-time passing touchdowns?
I thought you were going to do rushing yards or something interesting.
No, all-time top
Brady,
10.
Manning.
Brady 1, Manning 3.
Breeze.
Breeze 2. You wouldn't have never guessed him.
I love Breeze. Favre is up there.
Favre's 4.
Rodgers
5.
Moon.
No, you missed it.
I didn't really. That wasn't a
Rivers
real.
6.
Rivers is
Marino,
there. Roethlisberger,
Ryan, and Eli Manning. Matt Ryan, top 10 in passing yards and touchdown. There's a case to be made for him as a Hall of Fame quarterback.
If it's only numbers, then that's not a case. He had no impact on the game whatsoever. He came in, he left. Just was a guy passing through. As a has decent numbers, but no real legacy.
All-time passer rating. Give me the top 10.
I don't know. Breeze, Brady, Manning.
Young. Here they are, the top 10. Rodgers 1. Young 2. Tom Brady, Manning, Romo.
Is
Rivers
he a
6.
Hall of Famer? No.
Breeze, Warner, Roethlisberger, Montana. Matt Schaub, 11th.
There you go. Well, that's a worthless stat then.
Matt Ryan, 12th.
Thanks for coming, Matt Ryan. What is he below Schaub in anything? Yeah. Well, he's out then.
Here they are. Here are the real leaders. Okay?
For what?
The real leaders for all-time passer rating. Rodgers, Mahomes, Watson.
Yuck.
Wilson, Prescott, Breeze. These are in, right now.
Current.
Burrow, Cousins, Jackson, Garoppolo. What does that tell you? It tells you that
guys who don't throw a lot of interceptions are.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't play for me.
I don't know what it tells you.
Can't play for the Raiders.
Well, he might.
The Raiders are going to make a big move.
They don't have
Raiders
Garoppolo.
are going to make a big move Thursday.
They don't have Garoppolo anymore. They have Gardner Minshew.
You know what I mean?
No.
The Raiders are going to do something.
No, they're not.
They're going to bring in one of these quarterbacks.
They're going to bring in Michael Penix in round 2.
I would love that. They're not going to trust that he's going to be available in round 2. They're going to trade down. They're going to trade down and get Penix in round 1.
Why don't you trade up and get Drake May?
Because they believe in Penix.
No, how do you know?
I've talked to some people.
You have? Okay.
No, I've talked to some fans.
You've talked to maybe a fan.
No, I've talked to several. I'm going to people now reach out.
Who have you talked to?
I don't.
Who have you literally exchanged words with?
I don't share names, but I've talked to people.
So there's Shannon Great, who I don't think has the time of day for you as a Raiders fan, and Anthony Capra.
Why? What has Shannon said?
Oh, well, he said some things. I need Shannon Great to call because I want to ask him about his.
Who does Shannon Great value more, me or you?
Me. I had lunch with him. Dinner, actually.
I don't do those things.
We had dinner. I would
need,
have dinner with Shannon Great again. I had a wonderful experience.
I don't need to have dinner.
But if
lunch,
he's a friend, he could be a friend.
He's not gonna. I'm not gonna delve into.
And Shannon, I know you're listening. I need you to call. I've got something to ask you.
Let's take a break. What's the game today?
I'm gonna give you a game.
What is it? What's it have to deal with?
Sports.
Baseball, a specific sport?
It could be baseball. We could also get into some basketball if you want.
We'll play a game next. Bob and Jeff Show, KFH.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
We really need new phones.
T-Mobile will cover the cost of 4 amazing new iPhone 15s, and each line is only $25 a month.
New iPhone 15s?
It's better over here. Only at T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines for $25 per line per month with eligible trade-in when you switch.
Minimum of 4 lines for $25 per line per month with autopay discount using debit or bank account. $5 more per line without autopay, plus taxes and fees. Phone fee at 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. $35 per line connection charge applies. See T-Mobile.com.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFA.
Time to play the game.
It is time to play the game here on the Bob and Jeff Show.
It's a hard game. At least the first one.
I'll bet I succeed at it.
The first one is impossible. I'm going to give you...
What's the name of the game?
I don't have a name for it really, but I'm going to give you the last year of a team before they moved to a different city, and you're going to try to tell me a player from that team. And you will not
get how tired I am.
And you will not get this. Well, you want a game every week. I mean, I'd be happy to compete.
Do you know how tired I am?
As tired as everybody else, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Go.
You're not going to get anybody from the 1954 Philadelphia A's. But you can tell me where they moved.
Chuck Klein.
In 54? No, I think he was long deceased. No, you're not going to get any of these guys.
Robin Roberts.
And come on. No.
Oh, he was a Phillies. Philadelphia A's. Ed Delahunty.
What? No. This was a bad team.
They moved to Kansas City.
You ever heard? Yeah.
I will say, let me think about that for a minute.
No, it's just not going to happen.
Don Mincher.
No. Some of their starters were Joe DeMaestri, Jim Finnegan, Spook Jacobs. You can't beat that anymore. Bill Renna, Bill Wilson. It's too hard.
Why would you ask me that?
All right, let's go.
Why would that be a question you would ask?
Because that was the first one kind of in your life. They started the next year in 55.
Why would you ask me that?
All right, let's go a little easier. The 1957 Brooklyn Dodgers.
Well, he moved to Los Angeles.
Yeah. Can you name any players on that team?
Of course I can.
All right.
Roy Campanella.
That's correct.
Jackie Robinson.
He was not on that team.
Really?
He retired after 56.
Oh, darn it. Okay. Johnny Padres.
Let me see. Johnny Padres is correct.
Jim Gilliam.
Jim Gilliam is correct.
Don Newcomb.
Don Newcomb is correct.
I don't know if
You're
Duke
missing
Snyder
their two,
ever played in.
You're missing their two big stars.
I'll say Duke Snyder.
Correct.
And I'll say Sandy Koufax.
He wasn't. No, he was. He was 21, yes. But they have another Hall of Famer.
John Roseboro.
He was not. Yes, he was.
Well, I'm killing this.
You're doing a good job on this one. They have another Hall of Famer who broke in that year at age 20.
Don Drysdale.
Correct. They have a friend of the show.
Who's that? The guy that
I interviewed.
Carl Erskine.
Yeah, he was on that team.
Carl Furillo.
Correct.
Well, I don't know what do you want from me?
That's a good job.
No, it's a great job.
You don't have to keep going, but Pee Wee Reese would have been.
I would have said he was my next guy.
Don Zimmer would have been.
Right.
Maybe you could have said Sal Magli. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't have gotten Sal Magli. But I would have gotten Pee Wee Reese.
We'll go up the coast to the 1957 New York Giants.
Well, they moved to San Francisco.
No kidding.
Of course.
Duh. It's a tough one.
Willie Mays.
Yes.
That gets tougher.
It does.
That gets really tough.
They got a Wichiton.
Darryl Spencer.
They have a longtime Cardinal and former Cardinal manager.
Well, of course they do. Give me a hint. It was Red Shandine.
It was.
Little known. I don't know. Was Orlando Cepeda?
He was not there yet.
I didn't think he was. Was Willie McCovey there yet?
Not yet. There was a pitcher who broke in at 18 who, you're not going to get him, but best years were with the Orioles. I think he was one of the 420-game winners.
Well, of course I'm going to get him. It wasn't Cuellar. It wasn't McNally. It wasn't. It was.
He wasn't one of the 20-game winners.
No, he wasn't one of the 20 game. Who was it?
Mike McCormick.
I should have gotten him. He was a thorn in the Cardinals' side.
There's an old guy who played for a long time.
Roger Craig.
Oh, come on. Well, not a terrible guess, but this guy led the league in homers in 1952 for the Cubs.
19 what?
1952 led the league in homers.
Give me the first letter of the first name.
He has the first name of somebody we've talked about on the show.
Give me the first letter of the first name.
H.
Give me the second letter.
We've talked about a guy with his first name who had his first career homer.
Oh, Hank Bauer.
It's close. Sour.
Sauer.
All right, let's go.
That's who I meant, believe it or not.
I believe you.
Because Hank Bauer never played for the Cubs.
1960 Washington Senators.
Moved to Minnesota.
Yes.
Harmon Killebrew.
He was on that team.
Bob Allison.
Correct.
Tony Oliva.
Tony Oliva is incorrect.
Really?
Yeah.
Camilo Pascual.
Yes.
Zoyo Versailles.
Correct. Age 20. Got in 15 ball games that year.
Cesar Tovar.
No. There was a former Met. No.
That doesn't do anything for me.
It was not a former Met.
That doesn't do anything
Faye
for me.
Throneberry, not Earl Throne. Is it Earl Throneberry?
It's Marv Throneberry.
Marv, there you go.
No, what? Marv Throneberry was well known.
Did you say Don Mincher?
Yes, I said him earlier.
He's correct. They have a
Bob Allison.
You said him. Uh-oh.
Earl Batty.
Yep.
Well, I don't know what you're wanting from me.
They have a recent Hall of Famer who you really wanted. A bunch of wins, played forever, but never.
Jim Cott.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want from me, but I'm ripping this thing up.
You're doing okay. How about the 1965 Milwaukee Braves?
Well, he moved to Atlanta.
Yes.
I'll kill this.
Let's hear
Hank
it.
Aaron.
Yep.
Rico Cardi.
Yes.
Then it gets a little tougher.
I mean, not really.
I'll say Warren Spahn.
No, he was not on that team. But you got some good ones.
Was Eddie Matthews still
Yes.
toiling?
He was. Not really toiling. He was only 33.
32
32 homers.
Give me a hint on somebody else.
There's two.
Hal Woodashick.
He would have what?
Hal Woodashick.
No, he didn't. And he wasn't. There's two longtime managers, esteemed managers of the 1990s.
Bobby Cox.
No. Very esteemed managers.
Earl Weaver.
In the 1990s. Played on the Braves.
Give me a hint. First name. First letter. First name.
How about a guy who won a bunch of World Series in the 90s?
A bunch?
Yeah.
Joe Torre.
There you go. And a brother of
Frank Torre.
No, not his brother. A brother of brothers.
Felipe Alou.
Yes. Another brother of someone you've already named.
Of who?
Henry Aaron.
Oh, Tommy Aaron.
Yeah.
Felix Millan.
You just wanted to say that. He was not on the team. Frank Thomas was, though, the first one.
That's a different Frank Thomas, I hope
Jim
you know.
Beecham, the father of former Wingnuts manager Cash
Jim Beecham, a former Cardinal. Yes. Next.
1967, Kansas City Athletics.
Moved to Oakland. That's a tough one because a lot of those players came along later.
They got some big stars.
Jim Catfish Hunter.
Correct.
John Blue Moon Odom.
Yes.
Reggie Jackson.
Yes. Can you believe it?
Joe Rudy.
Joe Rudy is correct at 20.
Bert Campaneris.
Correct.
Can you imagine if that team had stayed in Kansas City?
Unbelievable.
No, not that guy.
Keep going with that A's thing.
Yeah, I get you. Sal Bando.
Yep.
Gene Tennis.
He was not there yet.
That's
pretty. Bando was kind of the last real big name for the A's.
All right.
Rick Monday.
Rick Monday was a hell of a player.
1969 Seattle Pilots.
Can't remember where they moved to.
Milwaukee.
I don't know who moved with the.
They became the Brewers.
I understand that. I don't. That was a nondescript team.
It was. But they have somebody you've named in a previous team.
I don't know who it was.
They have a reliever who was
I don't know who it was. Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah, not really, no.
Who?
Mike Marshall.
Who would know that? Those are both terrible teams.
Tommy Davis was on this team.
Tommy Davis was washed up by then.
He's only 30.
By the way, well, he was done. He was not a good player by that time.
109 OPS plus. Mike Hegan.
No.
Don Mincher again.
Those players are not the kind of people you talk about.
Ray Euler
played for the Tigers. These aren't everyday people.
Dooley Womack?
Next.
1971.
You're a terrible producer of this game.
Why?
You're not making it what it should be.
What should it be? 1971. What?
Go.
1971.
Last one.
Washington Senators.
Moved to Texas.
Yes.
Frank Howard.
Yes.
Buddy Bell.
No. They didn't have a ton. They had a former 30-game winner.
Jim Dunning.
Believe it or not, you know what? Don Mincher was on this team. What was his deal?
Eddie McLean.
Yes.
Don Mincher was a fine player.
Former Royal with a cool name.
Don't know.
Richie Scheinblum.
Whoa now. Whoa.
What?
Stop the horses. You talk about Richie Scheinblum to me, you better be reverent.
No.
Because I'm going to tell you right now.
Because he played 6 games for the Cardinals?
No. Because he played for the Wichita Arrows.
Okay.
And Richie Scheinblum is my all-time favorite Wichita minor league baseball player.
Really?
All time.
It's big. I wonder who mine is.
I loved Richie Scheinblum. Look up his numbers.
He was awful.
Not for the Arrows, he wasn't.
No, not for the Arrows, and he had one good year in the big leagues. But I am going to see what he did in Wichita, actually. For Cleveland, in 1970.
Richie Scheinblum.
337.
You want to get a guy on the show? Get Richie Scheinblum.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
No, he's not.
Oh, my goodness.
He died in 2021.
Oh, that makes me so sad. I loved him. I absolutely adored him, and anybody who knows me will tell you that. So in 1970, with the Wichita Arrows, very first year, he hit 337.
I know, I just said it.
24 homers, 84 runs batted in for the Cleveland Indians.
What? No, for the Wichita Arrows.
Right, but he was a member of the Cleveland Indians
Correct.
organization.
And we ruined him.
And he could never figure it out with Cleveland. And how many people have said that throughout history?
Well, unfortunately,
most Clevelanders.
No, not Clevelanders.
You know what? I never figured it out in Cleveland.
It's a lovely city.
If you ask anybody who's ever lived in Cleveland, what you're more likely to get out of them is, I never figured it out in Cleveland.
Cleveland's my favorite city on the planet.
I never knew what to do in Cleveland.
I mean, Wichita is, but
that's what you'll get.
Cleveland really is.
So in 1974, he played for Toronto, California, the Royals, and St. Louis. 4 teams.
What? Trying to hang on.
At the age of 31.
Can I ask you real quick? Let's see your NBA knowledge. I'm not going to give you players.
Thinking about Richie Scheinblum.
Where did the Rochester Royals move to?
The Rochester Royals.
1956.
The Rochester Royals moved to Baltimore.
Cincinnati.
I almost said that.
What about this?
What do you mean? The Reds were in Cincinnati forever.
No, we're doing basketball.
Oh, well, I thought you were still on baseball. Of course, the Royals moved to Cincinnati with Oscar Robertson.
Right. What about the Chicago Zephyrs? Who did they become?
the Chicago Zephyrs became Denver.
They became the Baltimore Bullets.
Two more.
What about the Syracuse Nationals? Who did they become?
They became the, I don't know.
76ers.
That's all. I'm done with
hold
that.
on.
No, I'm done.
Who did the Buffalo Braves become?
They became the Clippers.
Yeah. First in
San Diego.
And then, yes, to the L.A.
Dude, don't try to get it past me.
Who?
No, I'm ending on that note.
Name some 1984
I'm
Kansas
ending
City
on that
Kings.
note.
All right.
Tiny Archibald and Sam Lacey and Scott Wedman.
Good.
Those were the main
We should get
guys.
those guys on the show.
Because I got a lot of friends in Wichita. I got a couple of old flames that are trying to get in touch with me. That my wife's, I had a gorgeous little girl in Wichita. I got to tell you something. It was the best piece of ass I ever got in my life. That chick was sizzling, guys.
Eddie
There it
Money.
is.
The late Eddie Money, our guest on this show. I don't have the email, so I can't see when. Yeah, I can. I've got it.
Put your password in there for crying out loud.
No, I got it. When do you think that happened?
Probably around 2019 like all the others. I don't know.
I think it was earlier.
Might have been.
Eddie Money was a guest on this show in May of 2018. And
it seems like much longer ago for some reason.
I'm pretty sure he knew he was on the radio.
He had to. He had a bad connection and some crazy stories, but yeah, I think he knew.
Miss him. Don't you?
I don't know if I miss him.
Didn't you like his music first and foremost?
I did like his music, but I didn't know him, and it's not like he'd produced music with any relevance recently. So I can't say that I miss him.
We got to get back to some of these.
I'm upset that he's deceased.
Just today, we've had Jerry Beckley from America, Charlie Daniels, legend, Bret Michaels, legend, and Eddie Money, legend. And you can make a case that the band America is a legendary band.
You could.
I think you'd be right.
I mean, they certainly had their moment and some huge hits.
Doesn't that make you legendary?
I don't know. I don't know anymore what makes you legendary. Jimmy Buffett just went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How does that happen? He's as big a legend as there is on Earth.
No, I don't know about that.
A lot of people know him. I don't know what Hall of Fame means.
What?
How much more famous can you be than Jimmy Buffett?
Well, he's tremendously famous. We never had him on the show, though.
Foreigner just got in, and you know my thoughts on Foreigner, not my favorite. But how do they just get in?
Well, we've had a member, we've had the keyboardist from Florida, Foreigner, on this show twice.
That's right.
Michael Bluestein.
Good guest. Wonder who else? Maybe we got Gene Simmons.
We've had
Ted Nugent.
Little Stevie, which for some people might be the number one guy we've had on.
Sure.
Right? Of all the guests that are non-sports.
It's a good week to do it because are there 20? Coolio.
Steve Martin.
I'd love to hear some Coolio tomorrow, Max.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah, but
now you'll remember that interview because the thing people talk about is
please play the music. I beg you, Max.
Is how I held my own.
Yeah,
comedic.
That's what they say.
That day.
Yeah, no
you
question.
wilted.
Didn't wilt. I showed them reverence. I wasn't trying to be a lounge act for him.
Mr. Martin, do you? I mean, it was just pathetic.
Yeah, I respect him. I wasn't going to try to outdo him and fall flat on my face like you did. But otherwise, it was a good interview.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Martin Short and Steve Martin, and you thought you could hang with them. Really? You think that highly of yourself?
I made them laugh.
They do that out of courtesy.
I went toe-to-toe.
Yeah, you did.
By the way, there's a Steve Martin documentary on Apple
I know.
TV.
I need to get Apple TV just for that.
I got to watch that very soon.
Same, somehow.
I love him. And I love Martin Short.
Same.
Do you watch Only Murders in the Building? Do you ever watch it?
My wife started it. We started it, I guess. I watched it too, but we didn't hang with it.
Unbelievable.
I don't hang with any show.
Unbelievable. Too bad.
I think we'd gotten rid of Hulu, then we got it back, and I don't know.
Tomorrow on this show, it's Jeff and David Michael Hahn.
Sure is.
We invite you to listen, see what they might have in store. I will be back on this show Monday, and I imagine you'll want to circle your calendar for that.
No doubt. I will.
We'll see you then. Have a good night.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
It's a great day to venture out in a spacious and capable Toyota SUV. Like the new RAV4. With available all-wheel drive, it can go just about anywhere. And with plenty of passenger and cargo space, you'll go from morning carpool to weekend road trip without missing a beat. Plus, with available features like wireless charging and a touchscreen interface, your Toyota RAV4 will keep you connected no matter where you're going. Or check out a spacious Highlander. With seating for up to 8, it's a hub for family adventure. You'll drive in comfort and style with available heated and ventilated seats and all the latest tech. And with available hybrid models, your new Highlander can save you tons on gas. Right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a RAV4 or Highlander today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota. Let's go places.
T-Mobile has invested billions to light up America's largest 5G network, from big cities to small towns, including right here in yours. And great coverage is just the beginning. Right now, families and small businesses can save up to 20% versus AT&T and Verizon when they switch. Visit your local T-Mobile store today.
Plan savings with 3 lines of T-Mobile Essentials versus comparable available plans. Plan features and taxes and fees may vary.